too much. Tips. Tips. Oh, wait, first. Yes, give me my rewards. Please, give me money. Not that I'm short. I actually have a bunch of it right now. Look at those numbers. Wow. That means I can spend it. Let's spend. Spend.
Please specify a project.
A real completion 51%. I don't know how. Like, I know why. More or less because the game has a bunch of side quests. But still, like, I've been doing a lot of things. How am I missing so much? And now I'm just doing it. Oh, right. Okay. Alright. I think I'm building one right now. I'm not! Yes! Do it!
Commencing platform construction.
And now where? I got it. I don't think I could do it before. Because it didn't have materials. But I have materials now. Great. And you... Okay. And now. It was a fun time for me. It took me 13 days, I think, to 100% the game. If I recall, I was unemployed at the time, but still, like, 13 days. It's fast. Not even the game is finished 100%. You cannot complete the game 100% because the last 1%, Konami has it. So you cannot finish it. Too true. Even with my review after I did it 100%, what did you give it? If you scored it, you should have created rockets and suits and horse to defeat Challenge. I'm not gonna defeat it again.
Boss?
No.
How are you back on your feet so quickly?
There's a non-smoking ward.
Boss.
If I listened to everything the doctors said, I'd probably die in here. No point waking up after 9 years for that.
Well, having you out of that bed makes things a little easier.
Bad news, huh?
Things are looking worse.
Go on.
They found out about you waking up, and the man on fire picked this time to wake up too. We'll have to move forward ahead of schedule. Miller already has the preparations underway. We'll have to wake up your neighbor too.
So he's not. He seems awake now.
No. Well, he's not actively conscious yet, at least.
He was a doctor too.
In his mind, that past no longer exists. Your past is his past now. He's going to be your phantom, not some simple diversion. He'll act as the new big boss, and the act just isn't for Cipher. He'll be your face on the world stage, until the time comes for your resurgence.
You make it sound easy.
We've been busy over the last 9 years. His altered state of consciousness has helped us implant powerful suggestions through induced hypnagogia. He's experienced all your missions on record and shares all your knowledge and experience to make him believe that he is the one true big boss. No one around him will doubt that he's the big boss they know.
Okay.
So, is he the real big boss or a stand-in? What does that mean to him? Nothing. The human brain is capable of many illusions. Of pain, of the future. What happens from here depends on his skill. You can vouch for that.
He was always the best man we had. But
9 years ago in that helicopter, he threw himself between you and the blast. In that moment, the man you knew died. He died protecting you. And now, by becoming you, he protects you again. This is just a detour in his journey to hell. And don't forget, it's what he wanted. He's in his dog days now. It's not just him. We'll be putting the people in this hospital in the line of fire. They'll be your shield and necessary diversion to buy us some time.
And you?
I'll be right by his side.
Can you keep it up? It's a hell of a lie.
It won't be a lie. I won't know his secret either. I'll believe that he's the real big boss. I'll have no conscious knowledge of you. Where's the lie in that?
Self-hypnosis.
It's nothing new in my line of work. Manipulating memories, the past. But that's not all. When the time is right, I need to remember that you're the real boss. In a world It's double-think.
In this year.
2 + 2 = 5. And I want you to do the same.
Right. His bodyguard?
Correct. It won't be long before this hospital comes under attack. We'll wake him up right away, but he won't be back to full health in time. You'll need to take him through his final paces.
Yeah. I want to see his face again.
All right, John. I've never forgotten you in these 9 years,
No,
but I have to forget you now.
the
Adam.
promise.
I'm counting on you. What's up?
About the 1972 project. Les Enfants Terribles.
You never did like the French.
All that Catherine the Great aristocratic pompousness gets to me, that's all. Palace talk. They can keep it.
Les enfants terribles. The terrible children.
That madness Zero started. Or the start of his madness.
You found out something new?
The plan itself was abandoned in '76. ATGC dismantled the project, and their account with DARPA was closed. So I was worried about what happened to you. Your sons.
They're no sons of mine. And they're sure as hell not me.
Just a bunch of cells grown in a lab?
What they are is much sicker than that.
Well, Zero doesn't think so. Eva doesn't either. To them, those boys are your clones. They're you, down to the last hair.
And?
The first boys were raised free range, like we thought. Both of them. David has never left the States, but the other, Eli, has disappeared. Might as well call it abandoned. They're through with him.
Where is he?
He was in England, Zero's home ground. Apparently he traveled to Africa after that, but that's where he escaped from Zero's care.
Just like that. Why?
Who knows? Maybe he found out about his birth. If he's alive, he'd be 11 or 12 by now, old enough to think and act for himself.
So he might still be alive.
On his own, there? I wouldn't bet on it. John,
But he was.
if he is alive, what's the plan?
I have nothing to say to him. Treat him like a human being, just another person.
But he was alive. He was. Little break. Also, fun thing. Remember that in every Metal Gear game, you get a tuxedo after you finish the game once, and this one is DLC. I'm not surprised, considering all of the like paid stuff with the online. You know, but I would have scored it maybe 8 out of 10. Gameplay is very good overall. It's just a story I would be disappointed in, but that's with the series' high standards in mind. Yeah, I would score every other Metal Gear higher probably, maybe 7-4. I might only score 8-2 though. Why? Why only 8 for 4? 4-4. 1984 reference. There was a reference. I didn't catch it. Solo hypnotized himself to convince himself that his career goal was to be made with 5's narrator. What a missed opportunity. His character is a wild card in all the other games, but here he's just a narrator. Poor Ocelot. Oh, doublethink is a concept? Oh, okay.
Boss, this war business you and Miller started. Since the industry spread out to the PFs, it may have a favorable influence on Cipher. To a ruler, an everlasting enemy is convenient. By directing the public's animosity outside his borders, he can unify their frame of mind. Guns for hire continue the war, then enrich the economy with their spoils. War as a business will become a permanent tool for manipulating the public mind. A new business model. You might even call it a war economy. Before long, Cipher, or rather the Patriots, will be drawn to this. Probably only a few decades before it takes hold. It's not far off at all. Still no leads on Zero. We don't even know whether he's still alive. But the protocol he put in motion's making steady progress. Every day, SIGINT's web covers a little bit more of the globe. Total information control. Big Brother Zero. And it'll happen before anyone even realizes. I don't like it. You're the big brother of the battlefield. You've earned a firm grip on the world's military power. But soon, Zero will have nations in his. He'll erase the Cold War. All war from people's minds. And with it, the world's borders. Zero's will, his influence, will be unleashed, with nothing to stem the tide. that happens, opposition will no longer match the lines on the map. And boss, with no borders left, what difference can we make? War will have lost any true meaning to the world. Just one more gear keeping the wheels of economy turning. Another product bearing down the capitalist conveyor belt. The future your friend Miller wanted. That's all there is in store. Perhaps it's already too late. But human will should only be handed down and nurtured by human hands. It can't be entrusted to the system. Especially not that soulless phantom that Zero's left in his wake. No matter what happens, we'll have to fight someday to reclaim our truth. Until next time, Big Boss.
Big boss. Another thing. So, if the virus escaped the English strain, why don't we really hear about it in other games? Or we do, but I don't remember about it, like, at all. Would have to explain for a while to say why 4 would be 8 out of 10, but the story I also would have criticized. The gameplay was good, but it felt like it needed more game because of the long cutscenes. So 4 was pretty good for me, but it was way too short, in my opinion. So 4 would be like 8.5 for me. Keep in mind, almost every other game I have ever played, I would rate below an 8. I'm picky. It is hard to give like above an 8, I would say. Yeah. GG. Honestly, like the best of Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, Nier Automata, even within etc. Would I rank in the ballpark as very solid games? I can't even compare because like the games are so different for me that it's hard for me to compare, even though like I can rank both individually, and then the number that I give to each one of them I can compare because it's a number, but still it's like there are different styles of games, so it is hard. But yeah, like above 8 in general for anything, not just games in general. I think it's tough in some situations. I definitely give it, but it's not often. Yeah, I think like 4 is a good game, but it goes the dramatic movie route too often, and yeah, I think it should be longer with more game. I agree. They burned the island, no more parasites. But no, okay. Yes. Psychomantis removed the virus and then threw it to the ground, and then they burned the island. In like episode 51. That does not really exist in the game, but yes, okay. Alright. However, the concept of the parasites as tool of war and control carried over as nanomachines, yeah. Yeah. That yes. I just been comparing quality overall if I had to. Yeah, I understand. The Zulu scam? Why? Like, it played. I heard a woo. If you can't hear the woo, clean your woo ears. Because the woo has been played. It is a deep woo, okay? So it's just deep. It's a thick voice.
Someone has successfully struck at Zero. Since Zero's using a private network, we get information, but we have no way to trace his location. That means the details are still fuzzy at this point, but apparently some new bioweapon was used.
Fuzzy was a bear.
As soon as he noticed the dip in his vital signs, he had his stomach pumped and even underwent blood dialysis. But he didn't fully recover. Ironically, if Zero kept more company, he'd have been safe. Since the incident, his speech and actions have been getting more unhinged by the day. He's probably been rushed to another safe house for intensive care. But the location is a complete mystery. That's the way he operates. He went to incredible lengths to make sure his great escape went unnoticed. So far, I know at least Langley and the Pentagon were involved. He had a blackout triggered in New York to disrupt the transportation and information grids, and at least 2 submarines were sighted off the coast. The personnel involved were working off a cover story. Naturally, the White House was fed the same thing. The project is buried under a pile of dummy ops and backup plans stretching across multiple organizations. It's safe to say not one of the people involved knew what they were moving or to where. All top secret, no trail, no leads. He's living up to his name as usual. Only this time, even I can't find him. Now, the only record of his location lies within the Cipher AI that was at the heart of the escape plan. And that's closed off, with its data sealed away in a secret location. Skullface was able to put together this assassination attempt, but even he can't possibly know where Zero is now. I'll keep searching, but when you're up against he who controls information, it's gonna be a long battle. Boss, it was Anderson after all. That's right, the man who went by Sigint during Operation Snake Eater. Following Zero's disappearance, he's taken over command of Cipher. Well, to be precise, the AI he oversees has. The idea to have an AI act for Zero came about in '74, when the data from the mammal pod penetrated NORAD. Clearly, an AI couldn't be allowed to make its own decisions. So they would take away its ability to act, and instead, create a specialized system in which the AI, bound by specific rules, filters the massive amounts of data it collects before passing it on to people, subtly guiding their decision-making. A system of the people, by the people, for the people. So they began researching how to do it. DARPA apparently brought Strangelove on board to head it up. She was forced out after a certain incident. The direction of the project and any trace of her existence was scrubbed after her departure. Before Zero lost consciousness as his condition worsened, he left instructions for Anderson, through a cutout, of course. Zero went out of his way to hide your location in order to keep you safe. This meant sacrificing his own protection. It was the only way to ensure you could stand alone as your own man. And here I am, the only link between you and the world that's passing you by. I'm your last connection now. This was Zero's last request, his will. Once you're awake, we need to discuss the best way to ensure your safety. Oh, and they've got a name for Anderson's AI project. It's called the Patriots. It's all about ensuring that the concepts driving society appears the same in the mind of each person in that society. About maintaining the identity of the individual, and yet having that individual willingly make up part of the whole. I guess it's fitting to call that patriotism, creating a united world. Zero's will is already fading into a shadow of what it once was. Systems, guidelines, rules, laws. When you take a mentality and fix it in a solid shape, put it out there in the hands of people, it can only begin to decay. No mentality can last forever.
Clouds approaching.
When the body dies, the will dies with it.
The lolly, the loloo. Lolly, the loloo. I can't say it ever. God damn it. I always butcher it. 6 minutes, okay.
Huh? Development complete. Development complete.
Well timed, actually. Development complete.
Hello?
Not there. Here.
Huh?
Thank you for coming. Please.
You're...
Is it that odd? I suppose the cuffs have gotten a bit loose. Although, truth be told, I have been spending more time in pajamas as of late.
No, nothing.
The tie, perhaps. Not the most fashionable pattern, I admit.
No, it is very nice.
How sweet. Will you take a little brandy? You're hardly underage, after all.
No, thank you.
Please, sit. Pacifica Ocean.
What?
Ah, yes. You've already begun.
Caution, rain approaching.
Not bad. A schoolgirl through and through. Even he won't suspect otherwise. Here you are.
Thank you. I heard you were sick?
Poppycock. I just like to take a little time off work.
You?
You must feel that way sometimes.
Poppycock?
Well,
Anyway, I could hardly greet my first guest from that damned bed.
I missed my chance to catch you snoring.
Now I'm twice as glad I got ready in time. Drink, before it gets cold. English breakfast tea. All I have, I'm afraid. There were 8 candidates before you, meaning you will be the 9th Paz Ortega Andrade.
Whoa.
What happened to the others?
They're in the next room. They've been taking it easy these past few months.
They...
Do you see any windows here?
No?
I've gotten used to it, this life. I am who I am, after all, and I've had my fill of cursing this bloody dungeon. Excuse me. But I can't help sometimes wishing I could see the stars. What should I do?
Well, you could go outside, go up to the roof, wait for the clouds to pass. You would have a view of Manhattan, and a pretty one too. But once the wind blows and the clouds pass, you can look up and see a sky full of stars, even here.
You've had a hard time getting to where you are.
Yes.
Sewer rats lead better lives. I know. Extreme training, starvation, days spent without sleep. Abandoned, hurt, and all but killed in every way imaginable. Some of your compatriots died. Others betrayed you, left you for dead. And you did the same to them. But through it all, you survived. And you alone made it here. Just look at you. I can see everything you've been through.
Yes.
Consider this mission a reward for the mountain you've climbed.
Thank you.
Yes, well, you know what's next.
Yes.
And you are prepared?
Yes.
I believe you. That ever so slight tan. Not the type you'd get on the West Coast. If I didn't know better, I'd say you really did grow up around the equator. But it runs deeper than that. One look at you, and I see a wide-eyed student yearning for peace. Born and raised in Central America. I can see it all. How much preparation have you done?
A little.
You'll be perfect for this, to strike back at Snake. I'll share everything I know about him. But you mustn't forget who you're dealing with. If he were to get the better of you, well, I deeply regret having put you in that position. But beyond that, I'm putting my life in your hands.
You can trust me, Cipher.
None of my friends call me that. Tea's gone cold. Shall I make some more?
I know we are the only ones here. There's no one in the other room.
And how do you know that?
You said I was your first guest.
Oh, I haven't had this much fun in quite a while. All right, then.
Cypher's been in hiding.
God damn it! I jumped! It goes on! Considering Konami kept wheeling him out each game, and you can tell with each game he's saying and let me work on something else. Yeah. When I saw it's 5, I think it's good evidence that he still had more story in him for the series after 4, but in the words of the Gamer Grid, he got bored. I'm not surprised, like it happens a lot. Also, a lot of the games kind of have the same message, but like what happens in the game is different, but it's still like more or less the same message. This one doesn't have message, period. It's just a story, and it doesn't even have much of that. I think that's why he didn't mind going back in time instead, making this about Venom and the Snake instead. He just felt too trapped still in bounds, but like even that, it's not made in the best way. It's like kind of just done as like the final twist and thing. Like I don't really feel that it's special at all. So that girl is a pseudo sociopath. Yeah, but she's cool. We got to get naked and steal the giant nuclear robot. Also, don't forget to have a date with Snake in like a couple's box.
It's me.
Cypher's been in hiding ever since his grand experiment. No one's seen him in years.
All we hear are orders delivered by proxy. Except you.
Me?
You met with him, face to face, in order to contact Big Boss. Tell me where he is. Where is Cipher? Where is Zero? I've never known choice. Where I was born, the language I speak, I've never had the freedom to choose for myself. But you, right now, are free. Do as you will.
This will save Big Boss.
It may.
Clouds approaching.
Will you really kill Zero for me?
Not for you.
All right. Zero is Hell's Kitchen, 10th Avenue. He is undergoing treatment there.
Not exactly Hyde Park.
His medical needs keep him from moving around. That is why he summoned me there. The other residents are of varying race and ages, but in reality, all 40 units are Cipher personnel. It took him 10 years to replace the original occupants. He has got places like this all over the world.
No better place to hide a needle than a stack of needles.
Zero is on the top floor. A room with no windows and no doors. Even the elevator does not reach it. Officially, the floor does not exist. The only access is by a secret staircase 1 floor down. Room 702.
Shades of World War II.
Nobody realizes the entire building is a setup. People go in and out all day. But they're all Cipher. The building blends right in with the rest of the city. They disseminate rumors that a gang operates out of a building that keeps most outsiders away. And most of them are there as security in case of an emergency. But even they don't know what they're really protecting. Foot traffic, goods coming in and out, phone lines, water and sewage. It is all monitored remotely by satellite and cameras inside and out. Should he need it, there's a sealed-off water conduit that can be used to escape to the Hudson River, and from there to the sea. But from the outside, it is just another building. A perfect disguise.
So the Major believes zero suspicion equals total security. Very bold. It's just the kind of ruse I'd expect from him. So long as no one's suspicions are aroused, you could hide there forever. On the other hand, if someone figures it out, there are dozens of ways in. And he's so paranoid about information slipping out, no one involved has the full picture. That ignorance is a weakness, the downfall of a need-to-know system. The pitfalls are clear. Circumventing them will be simplicity itself.
You hate him, don't you?
Hate? He never left me to die. I owe him my life. I'm bound to repay the favor. Any way I can. But that's not what you really want to know. What you want to know is, do I hate Big Boss? I don't hate the man. I do deserve a little more of his gratitude. But he probably has no idea who I am. So you see, I have no reason to hate him at all. I mean to have my revenge against Zero. It's not petty hatred or resentment. Nothing so personal. Even the hottest lava eventually cools, becoming a mountain. And that mountain becomes the land. Scalding steam comes back down as rain, forming rivers, draining into the sea. It's then that nature's order sets in. Now I'm merely a part of that cycle. Just like Zero. And you. And Big Boss.
Don't do it!
That lava, that vengeance, is already set as stone. Too late to change things now.
Don't kill him!
The choice is not mine to make.
Please, let Big Boss live!
Proceed.
Please!
Give her the shot already! Hold her still!
Oh my gosh. Okay, little Rick again. I have a whole series coming up to cover the Minnesota themes more broadly than I already did in 1 and 2, because they're all super common Japanese themes. I never told Skullface that I could do college go to college, take language classes, and learn the language you wanted to. I just wanted, yeah, revenge. Yeah, they explain. Doesn't mean full that the game is Phantom Pain and the whole game is shadows of the old games. Yeah, true. This game has me wanting a remake of OG Metal Gear instead of Metal Solid 1. I would like a remake of Metal Gear 2 because it's still a very good game. I had a lot of fun with it. Metal Gear 1, I mean, if they do a remake and it's like a full-fledged remake with like quality of life improvements, then yes. Yeah. There was a fun remake of Metal Gear 1 that was this is by Konami. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. David Hayden was on board. Metal Gear 1 doesn't have much plot, so I'm not sure what Remaking would accomplish. Metal Gear 2 has a surprisingly complex enough plot to complement a remake, in my opinion. Yep. Give it a shot already. What class? They're making the GameCube. There is? Remake? Metal Gear 2? Really? I feel like my eyes are like getting so tired from looking at all of this blue. It's this one, yeah.
It's me. Ocelot. It's me. Ocelot. It's been quite a while. Yeah, I'll say.
Oh,
Took a lot longer for you to surface than I expected, Major. I wasn't planning on coming back at all, but I had no choice. Well, after the Caribbean, my hunch was proven right.
Development complete.
Do you want to say it again? Or are we good? We're good. Okay, I'm gonna restart. Yes, it's Metal Gear Solid 1. Yeah, it's Twin Snakes. It's the one that I wanna try.
You wouldn't believe who was behind it. Oh, I have an idea. How did you respond? Immediate disinformation campaign. Most bought into the story, but not everyone. It was quite an incident, after all. I couldn't cover everything, but I did hide the fact that Snake survived, and that should buy us some time. Where is he? En route to an old foxhole of mine. A base in the British sovereign area of Cyprus. The military hospital at Dekelia? Ava's leading the operation. Ava? Following your orders? Funny, isn't it? That we should all reunite like this. This is an emergency. Otherwise, I sure as hell would... Yes, I don't expect you to bury the hatchet between us. Something simply won't ever happen. Even I can appreciate that. You too can only bear to speak with me from time to time. That's fine. But I don't want Snake to die. Surely we can come together on that. There are so few men I can turn to. And you're number one, Ocelot. Keep him hidden. Keep him safe. But I'll stay where I am and leave the rest to you. That's how he'd want it too. Isn't it better for you to be there to supervise? Where I am, where he goes, it makes no difference. All that matters is getting him the very best treatment and security. The latter being where you come in. Will he wake up? And if so, when? I have absolutely no idea. But as long as his heart is beating, he will keep fighting. So please, watch over him. This location, it's safe? No one will find him. And if they try, I will deal with them. The information must be suppressed. Which is what you do best. Guess you're still at the top of your game, huh? Anything but. I'm sick, Ocelot. Donald's taken over a great deal. He'll be handling this situation from here on as well. Though I wish it weren't so. This will probably be the last time you and I speak. So, you won't say no, will you? I have no choice. Thank you. Save your thanks. One more thing. A proposition. Yes. I've prepared a ruse of sorts. One I imagine you'll quite like. What is it?
You could say I've made another snake.
You could
Major,
say.
I'm not talking about the children. A mental copy. His phantom, if you like.
I don't understand.
You will when you get to Cyprus. I've set the ball in motion, but the rest is in your hands. You're good at this kind of thing. The best. I need you on this.
If it's in his best interests.
I assure you, it is. Look after Snake. He's the toughest son of a bitch I've ever known. Yes,
Sure.
it's me. You weren't in hospital long. I had trouble finding you.
Where is he?
Safe. But in the same state as when you last saw him. We've had our misunderstandings, you and I. But as you've made clear, our relationship is strictly business. Therefore, I will limit this conversation to the business at hand. Please understand that I don't dislike you. Not inherently.
Where is Snake?
Now. Settle down, or I'll have to hang up. And then you never hear from me again. Do you understand? First, about your boss. I had him moved once he was stabilized. I'm sure it came as quite a shock to you when you woke up. You'll have to forgive me.
I told him to stop putting me under.
Surely you understand. Specialized medical treatment in places like that can be positively nightmarish. We couldn't have left him there forever. And to be honest, I wasn't entirely comfortable leaving matters in your hands. Don't take it the wrong way. Anyone looking for him would be looking for you. He needed to be as far from you as possible. In fact, I'm still not sharing his location, even now. Problems could arise. So instead, I'm giving you a point of contact. An introduction to a network of messengers who will lead you to a man. A friend to your boss. I'm sure he's mentioned him before. He knows Snake's location. More than any man alive, I trust him with this sort of thing. Keeping secrets, or men in the dark. He's known Snake quite a while. 10 years longer than you. Kazuhira, I don't care if you don't trust me, but I require your absolute trust in him on this. Snake will be brought back into this world, however long it takes. Understood? The only reason we're having this conversation is because you still have a role to play. Which brings me to the next issue. What happens after he regains consciousness? When Snake wakes up, and he will, he'll need your help again. So when he does, I promise you'll be the first to know. The code phrase will be, V has come to. I'll then mobilize all the necessary parties. Think of it as an overture to a prologue. Until then, do what you like. Just be ready when the time comes.
Shortly.
But you don't need me to tell you that, do you? I know it's been hard on you
Only
too.
grunts.
But I can't imagine you're willing to just walk away.
What are you talking about?
Hmm?
If what you're saying is true, then this is like wrapping a rope around your own neck and throwing it over a branch. What's your play in all this?
This is for Snake. So that he survives after he wakes up. Nothing more. After that, I don't care what you do.
Then tell me something.
Go on.
I only joined you after I found out what you were after. To make the world one, you need Snake for that. And he's already done a hell of a lot for you.
He has.
So on some level at least, I think you're being straight with me. Then why'd you do that to him? I get what you were trying with Paz. You wanted to get Snake any way you could. But after that, what you did, how could you do that to him?
After that wasn't me. You may not believe this, but I never intended for any of this to happen. My organization has many arms. It's just going to take a little longer before we're all on the same page.
I admit, I may have been lax in my supervision, but something like that will not happen again.
Whatever. One day, I'll know the truth. Just as soon as the boss wakes up. And then we're coming after you. This ends with you begging us to put you out of your misery.
Is that so? Fantasy can make for a powerful ally. But remember this reality, Kazuhira Miller. Big Boss will wake up. And when he does, be there for him.
I love that they're all such big fans of Snake. It's so cute. Master of the story that many saw with 5 ending means that he likes men. Who? Who likes men? Everyone in this game? Sure, I'll take that. That is okay. Yeah. Who's the one who allied with Cipher to destroy Mother Base with a nuclear inspection thing to protect Big Boss? It was not Huey's fault. Yeah. This game is a sausage fest. It is. Everyone. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I think yeah, it fits.
Major, I wondered whether you'd really call.
Exer, I presume this was your doing?
Sure.
Do you like my gift?
I've been searching a long time for this.
It is what you were looking for, yes?
The winged dagger of a comrade lost to the sands of Egypt. He served under the boss back in Rayforce. I delivered this pin to her after his death. We were both so very young. From that moment on, she never let it leave her side.
She was still carrying it in Selino-Yarsk. How about the back? Something wrong, Major?
Nothing, just pricked my finger.
The back.
The scar is there, just as I remember it. And this white stitching on the back. From the white berets the SAS wore in the early days.
Major?
30th of December, 1941. It's the inscription I made the day he died.
Of course.
His body was never recovered. This pin badge is the closest thing he has to a gravestone. When I gave it to her, she just kept on running her finger over the inscription. Never again, she uttered,
Again.
as if reprimanding herself for his death. She pressed hard, embedding the inscription itself into her finger. You see, it's why this spot on the back looks shinier than the rest. He was our brother in arms.
So...
Yes, it's real. Thank you. There's no doubt about it.
Good. Now I have no regrets.
What do I owe you?
Nothing. Just want to talk for a moment.
Very well, then.
It's about our man, Major. He's been making some moves.
Miller? Yes, I know. Rhodesia, is it?
Yes, and up to his old tricks again.
No matter. He'll stumble soon enough.
Although he is under my jurisdiction now.
And that's what you want to talk about?
Not exactly. You see, my being here's made me realize I can still be of use to you.
How so?
This country is rich with biological resources. Bacteria, nematodes, viruses. I'm sure we can find something here to bring that plan back into action.
Forget it. The Cleanser Project was just another one of my predecessor's daydreams.
And the vocal cord parasites?
Were an excellent test case for reverse evolution. Nothing more. What matters now is the genetics technology behind that work. With genetics, the clumsiness in targeting an entire race isn't an issue. We can target specific individuals. No need to breed multiple generations of parasite just to get results.
But
Don't be quaint, Exo. Once the Cold War is over, our enemies won't be so clearly defined. Using humans alone won't be enough. An electronic network will span the globe, and our enemies will blend right into it.
You may be right. But will people really settle for an enemy they can't see? Men want to feel righteous, need to see the evil in the enemy they fear. Without it, they'll turn their aggressions inward, find an enemy inside. You know this is true.
I see what you're saying. Just as those robbed of their parasites develop allergies and autoimmune diseases, a man robbed of his enemy develops self-destructive tendencies. And I know all the symptoms. Ethnic conflict, religious strife, terrorism. And with asymmetrical conflict, deterrence is a joke. That's why we must depend on information control. People need an appropriate context for their lives. A context that's stimulating without being destructive. That balance is the basis of equilibrium.
You mean to say people will blindly accept your context without developing any allergies?
If we're to unite the world, literacy must be suppressed. To suppress the information immune system, to borrow your metaphor.
Immunity to information. But to ensure there's no allergic reaction, while the immune system fights off parasites and pathogens.
It's done, Exo. This world will become one. I have found the way. The world that the boss envisioned will finally become a reality. Race, tribal affiliations, national borders, even our faces will be irrelevant. The nature of communication itself will change, and it will make mankind whole again.
Some things can't be undone. My face was taken from me. There's no taking that back.
A face means nothing when one's soul is able to communicate directly with another.
I have no intention of hiding behind your technological veil, Major. I wear my broken visage, this skull, in the open, so that I may never forget what I've lost.
You. What are you?
The chain of retaliation is what will truly bind this world together as one. Major.
You son of a... The pin. You...
Yes, the pin.
This is like listening to those drama cities,
It's too late.
you know?
They can't extract it. You see, Major, some things can't be undone.
How did you find me? The girl. You made her talk.
I'm sorry I couldn't visit or thank you in person, but it has been lovely chatting. And now that I know you're no longer interested in the garden, it's time for you to step aside. You're a busy man, lots to do, so I've left you a little time.
Go to hell! How dare you? You planned this all along. Had your own agenda. All these years. Yeah.
Now you see, the world can never truly become one.
But the boss...
You've been wrong.
You're no different. Just like him. None of you understand the world she saw.
I would say the same to you, Major.
You steal it all away.
Good timing.
Everything.
The boss said the same thing. Only I understood what she meant. Major, I'll handle the rest.
No, I understood. No, I This dude. No.
Oh, and one more thing. That pin badge, it was a fake. I held on to the real one. I'll take good care of it. And continue the boss's work.
Jack.
Yeah, Zero leaves skull face. Yeah. Last one.
Go.
I almost thought you wouldn't come.
Well, you're supposed to visit hospital before you die.
But how did you get here?
My friends at the SAS know how to keep a secret. The trip to the airport was a little dramatic, but the rest was easy. Still, I've had smoother rides. Oh, look. Scalded myself with my tea. I won't be staying long.
I understand.
Which one is he?
On the right.
And the left?
We did just as you instructed.
Has either of them woken?
Neither of them. No.
Not once?
Not in 2 years. Their weekly EEGs show stable activity levels. There's been practically no change.
Jack? Jack?
Jack!
It's me. You look fit to run a country mile.
Every 4 hours, we move all of their muscles, subject them to load. They're stable, but eventually...
Yes, of course.
We've done everything we can to ensure they're ready to move, should they wake up. Still, it's been a pretty long time. How long will they be here?
Indefinitely. It's too dangerous to move them. And so far, no one knows they're here.
I see.
I am most grateful to you. And I need you to keep it up.
We'll do everything we can.
Can you give us a moment?
Of course.
Jack, can you hear me? Nice place, isn't it? I went to a lot of trouble bringing you here. Here where no one will find you. Still, the Ocelot's on guard duty, just in case. Maybe knowing that will help you sleep better. I had no intention of coming, but this could be my last chance. If you'd just come to see me first. Do you remember the last time I visited you in hospital? Our first mission together. After the boss threw you in that river. Broke your arm. Ah, the good old days. I never told you this, but I had another team at my disposal back then, with a very special man leading it. Maybe he didn't like the arrangement. In any case, this man, he seems to have done something to me. Which is why I'm quite sick myself. Up here, there's nothing they can do. I always was the forgetful type, as you know. I'm all right for now, but they say it's a one-way street. If you don't wake up soon, I won't remember you when you do. I don't mind about myself, but what he did to you, I can never forgive. I've sent him to Africa, and I doubt he's coming back. Jack, once your little holiday here is over, well, who knows when that will be. But anyway, I probably won't be around. I'll be somewhere even you can't find me. A tombstone chiseled into the code of a machine. That is all I leave to mark my existence. Wake up soon, old friend. Time is running short.
It's kind of weird listening to Zero like this. He sounds almost likable. Sounds like an okay person. It's so weird. Like I like the voice. Anything else? Or is it just machine noises now? Yeah. Some of these clips, like audio clips, have like some silence that wasn't really needed, I think. I was like, just why? Just why? I don't know. So it's contextual. He was kind to the loves he cared about, I guess. So remember Kung Fu Fighting is a song about Big Boss? His name is in it too? It's an ad drama, yeah. Bruce was a big fan, so his name is movie The Big Boss. It's like he had shame of not following him a long time ago. Yeah. This was like listening to an audiobook. I don't think I've ever spent so much time on stream not talking. Just like listening. And that's it. It tries to recast you as someone whose plans went out of control, especially after Skullfist got him. Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting. I like listening to these. I had 2 past diaries left to get. Yes! You have those missions to do now. Fish quick, kill philanthropists. You got tier lists to fill. Quick! Alright. Let's get to some gaming. Setups. I have to do the One Ring soldiers. Wait, what? Wait, what? I don't have any? 10? Do I need to do like side ops for it to show up? Maybe. Maybe I need to do like other missions. Sometimes it did take some time to show. Unlucky Dog? Stealth camo, okay. But Unlucky Dog? This? Okay. But why? I mean, I can do it. I don't know why not. Have others. Like, look at this. I have an animal, and I have the best missions. Mine cleaning.
Please select a ladder
Let's
to Central
go.
Africa.
Okay. Hey, Blips. Hello. If you've done all 10, you just need to visit Pass a few times. So, then maybe before we go into a mission, I'm gonna visit her.
Please select a landing zone. Development project has been
like the plan.
added.
Is that I've been visiting her whenever we go back to Mother Base, but I did a bunch of them like back to back. So yeah, they must be on the queue. Aye, thank you. Forget to bring your box. No, please, no. No date.
No, Didi, stop!
That'll take.
Stay.
Boy.
Well, that would explain it. Sorry. Guess I've been away a while.
I spent
such a stranger.
a freaking
It's a bad
month
example for the man.
up in the air just listening to tapes.
And he gets pretty lonely too. Come on, Didi.
Are we bloody? Yes, we are. Should we take a shower? Wait. Now I'm not in the right platform because of Didi. This always happens. Just take me to the right one, game. I like Didi, but like
Please
do that
select a
in the
delivery
other one.
point.
I tell my people to land there. You people land there. I'm gonna fire some of you. I'm an angry boss. I'm not even boss. I'm a fake boss. But I'd rather be a fake boss than no boss at all, I guess. I wanna be. Wait, can I do this? So this is like pass, right? So I'm gonna visit pass.
Welcome home.
Pass.
Boss.
Boss.
Let's go more. Yes. Wait, what's this? I never got this. Maybe if I unlock this with her? Okay, I cannot open the door if I have a box. That's it.
Oh,
You're singing! Hi. Hello. You wanna
What is
picture?
it, Snake?
Look, picture. Here. Good image.
The Costa Rican Sea. It is so beautiful.
Can I see?
Costa Rica means rich coast.
Yes,
Please,
it does.
please, get them out of my country. Them? Huh? Who was I thinking of?
Hmm. And she's gonna
It
go
was.
see. Yes?
And then I... No, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student. I am so tired.
Bye!
I will just lie here a while.
The fest! Where's my dog? I wanna pet my dog. Never knew to box travel until you did it. I don't think I also discovered by myself. I think it was Chad. Pretty sure it was Chad. And I never did the fast travel between bases in the map. I have unlocked some, but I never really did it. Helicopter.
Please landing zone.
Roger.
I gotta tape by now. I'm gonna listen to the tapes when I see all of the things.
This is B-Quad.
Yeah.
Arriving shortly at LZ.
Did it pass with the pass box? Pass the box. If it was a pizza box, it would be better.
This is B-Quad. On station at LZ.
And maybe we would be happy. Because I always go there empty-handed. Just a single picture. That's not enough. Give me some food. Yummy food. Maybe she'll feel better. I would. Someone would like bring me a pizza whenever I wouldn't feel good. I'd be better. I'm so sad, like the whole Metal Gear thing with Huey wasn't really anything at all. It was like, hey, you can visit him working, and then it's like nothing. You just watch, and he's not even working. He's like, I can't say Googling because Google wasn't really a thing, but yeah, more or less Googling. I'm gonna go back. Let's see if it works. Like straight away.
Please select a landing zone.
We go up, we go down. Hey, that pizza is not even steaming. Yeah. And metal all over again. So you got a VTuber that's a pizza 3D model. A VTuber Pizzona. That sounds so bad. I'm pretty sure there's a pizza VTuber already. I want to thank my rabbits to a fish for this stream. Wait, why am I getting this? Like, it's such a big thing coming back to my base. After I've worked so much, listened to millions of tapes, visited a girl, and then left and instantly came back. Wow. The feelings are so strong. Just the fact that we learned Huey was a killer, that was a shocker to me. Yeah, I was always on the defense. Like, I wasn't really sure if I would consider him guilty or not. Like, a bad guy or not. I was just like, you know, maybe he just wants to build his stuff. And he doesn't really care on which side he is on. He just wants to be on the side that is currently winning, so he has like more investment. And can actually develop what he wants. It doesn't really care about people.
Boss.
But like, the moment they show that, yeah, he's filthy trash.
What is it, Snake?
Another one.
Chico. I wonder what he thinks of me. I have not seen him lately.
He's dead.
Maybe he is angry. There is something I am hiding from Chico. Or I thought there was. It was. And then no, that is not right. But I am an angel of peace. I am a student. I'm sorry, Snake. My head hurts. Could you let me rest?
Yes. The more I think about it, the more I'm angry about so much stuff they don't answer in the game. Like, why? No Chico. Why? And Ground Zeroes. It's like a huge thing. And then, no. It's like it didn't happen.
Please select a landing zone.
Roger.
This is B-Quad. Arriving shortly at LZ.
Not that fragile.
This is B-Quad. On station at
At least
LZ.
Death Stranding. the theory, and it actually makes sense, I'll agree, okay? Until then, I'll say quiet is not Chico. How would it even make sense? Still well Baki. How? Code Talker says it. What? They turn into male to feel. I knew it. That's not people.
Please select a landing zone.
They cannot copulate. I cannot hear Code Talker say copulation one more time in this game. At least I don't think I have any more tapes with Code Talker. Again, game. Why are you being so sentimental? Is it because, like, ending the game? But it's impossible. The game is not finished. So don't be sad. This is an infinite game. Those are the weirdest tapes are definitely Kotaku talking. Yeah, which is funny because it has Talker in his name. Like, I like him talking and I like the voice and the narration and all, but like, copulation. He can use so many different words just to, you know, change things up. No! My mission! No! Why did it fail?
Please select a mission.
Well, now you do this.
Unit dispatched.
And you do this.
Unit
and
dispatched.
You do this.
Unit dispatched.
I failed, so yeah, there you go. And it's our money that was developing
Please
things.
specify a project.
While I still have materials. Oh, I don't have money. Well, yeah, okay. So talk to burger eating noises. Okay, I did not like those. No eating noises, please. So Tucker talking slowly is breathing, talking, and eating.
Oh, snake! What is it, Snake? Football. I joined in.
Football!
And there's Huey refereeing. He said, we have forsaken our countries and become one with the earth. It is good being here together with everyone, you know?
This is cool and all, but
it was.
Most of this are repeated things
and
from
then
Peace Walker.
No,
with like
that is not
nothing
right.
new besides her not
I am an
remembering
angel of
things.
peace. I am a student.
That's it. Like for
I'm
those that
sorry,
played
Snake.
Peace Walker,
My head
just
hurts.
repetitive.
Could you
For those that
let
didn't,
me rest?
yeah, like it's really fine. I think I would be more okay with it if not all of them would be from Peace Walker, or it would be from Peace Walker, but she would like add one more line to it, and then to like that she didn't remember, etc., etc. Because that is the case, 100%. Then it makes sense.
Please landing zone.
Roger.
I know she's super conflicted,
This is B-Quad.
like who she is. In the beginning, she was like, okay, I am the schoolgirl, blah blah blah, and then Kaz went ahead and like, oh, Skull Dad is dead. Skull Dad is face. Skullface is dead.
This is B-Quad.
And she's like,
On station at
started
LZ.
shifting, like, whoa, wait, who am I, really? So, like, I get it. The way that it's done could be, like, a little bit better, I think. Alex, Metal Gear? Yes, Metal Gear. She doesn't know? Play this right now. Wait, are you giving me a video to watch instead of me talking to pass?
Please select a landing zone.
Yes. Am I your monkey? Cult. What the heck is this? Okay, we can watch this, but not now, right? But yes, today. It's relevant. Right now? It has to be right now, right now? I can't talk to pass first? Why does this have to do with pass? We're just talking about it, but still, like, I have to change scenes just to change for a freaking video. Is the video long? Okay, let me just get down and I'll show you guys what the video is. 3 minutes? Okay. It's small. Alright. Welcome back, Robbie! Your internet is still shitty? What did you miss? We listened to all of the tapes. Not all of them, all of the new ones from after the end of the game. And we're currently just doing some past stuff. But now we're gonna real quick watch something that Zombie sent me. And he wants us to watch together. Because of course. So let me just, yeah. It's loud? Alright. I'll try and be careful. Just taking ages to open. Come on, game! Game. Yes, YouTube is a game. Okay. There we go.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night.
Oh boy.
What a thrill.
Is this, wait, is it from McDonald's? It is.
What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you.
Oh gosh, DMCA, let's go. Oh wow. He's got the moves. Oh yes, the burger. I like that burger. They're high. Burger eater. Seconds of the game should be the DMCA. It is. My videos from Metal Solid 3 are copyrighted.
It's ordeal, the trial to survive for the day we see new life.
Give it, it looks great on red. Wait, sorry. Wait. Was that also not just spinning? Oh no! That's beautiful! Oh yeah, he deserves that. Absolutely. Drowned the guy. I mean, not literally, but a little bit. Hey baby. See if you, these at my job, they're great. What a big burger. Why isn't my base like this?
I'm still in a dream,
Yeah, that flag is better than mine, even though mine is a F. Burger eater. Buns of the Patriots. Tactical parasite compilation. Okay, no. If we go down this rabbit hole, I'm not gonna go back to the game. No. But that's great. That's great. We can do like a day with just a bunch of these videos. Great. Hey, Jomashi. Hello. Cancel DLC. Why, Konami? Why? Why? Why would I miss? Burger eater. Yes. Chapter 3 code eater. Also spent the spin button too many times. No, it was just enough times. Spin! I don't know how many times I went there. But
Welcome home, boss.
maybe we're close. Oh, she got scared with the book. That hasn't happened for a while now. Hello. I got a picture. No, I got your book. Here. Book. Read. To me.
Thank you. You were always so kind to me, Snake.
It's repeating. Are we just gonna stare at each other now? Yeah, I missed a lot, but I got back just in time for that. Yes. Yes, you did. At this point, boss should just build an elevator straight to her room. No! No! You'll play the other main Mary Solid games before this? Yes. I've been playing Mary Solids now for more than 1 year?
Snake?
Oh, yes? You wanna look at my photographs? Look at this photograph. But I can't show
What
it.
is it, Snake?
I can't show it. I don't have any, I guess. Goodbye now.
You will
I'll
come
just
back,
go.
right?
I'll come back, I guess, yes. So, what now? Did I unlock something? Like any other wandering base? Dudes? No? No. Nothing happened. What do I need? What major franchise run is next? For franchise, I don't know. Because we have a lot of games to play now. Outside of franchises. Just with Final Fantasy 9 alone, it's gonna take some time. But we do have Survive. May Solid Survive to play still. Xenoblade. Imagine playing a Final Fantasy and a Xenoblade at the same time. There is one last pick hidden. Not sure I can say. Oh. Show you my photograph I got from Mother Base Soldier. Please respond. Many games in many time. Yes. Oh, so does it start Soul season? We'll see. Well, we'll see. I can Google the last picture. Let's see. Let's also see. I'm seeing everything. I just cannot see the end of this game because it doesn't have one. I'm so sad. May I solve it 5 pass photos. Tell me where to find all 10 photos. Yes. Please. Okay. I got scared so much right now. I was reading tips with the Wandering Mother base soldiers, like how to capture them. But I didn't realize those were the tips. and I thought there were tips to get like the cutscenes would pass, and suddenly I just read cardboard box, and I go like, no, please, no cardboard box again would pass, please. I had enough in Peace Walker, not again. Okay, so it's side mission 51. Okay, I'm gonna go here. So it's 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and 60. I have all of them. Oh, and then 1. This fish only becomes available after you've given all 10 memento photos. You will find in the room outside on the wall. Game, is this it? Look at this photograph. That's it. That's it. There's nothing else. Well, now tapes. More tapes, I guess. Since I unlocked where is it? These, yeah. I'm gonna listen to them.
The whole base is busy getting ready for Peace Day. Miller has finished writing his song, so I went.
Ah, it's for me. I thought it was just a picture for the emblem. Okay, thank you. There you go. Stop it! No, don't touch! Stop! Stop it!
Away!
Pass.
What is she trying to remove? Like, I don't know if it's the bomb still, and she's like, it's still stuck. I presume it is, but what if
There's
something else? No. Okay, it's that just again.
There's another.
Imagine how much that must hurt. Dude, slap her or something. But there isn't. You just sing it as well. Because PTSD. No? Yes. A blue butterfly. Peace. Blue butterflies are used a bunch in Japanese games and anime. It was all a dream. It's like...
Professor Galvez to listen to it. Miller was really into it, humming away as he played the song on his acoustic guitar. But the song melody did not match up with the guitar chords at all, and it sounded more like a mess than music. Miller's very enthusiastic, but I think he's tone deaf. I guess the guitar backing sounded good at least. But as I was wondering how to break it to Miller, Professor Galvez took out an odd instrument. It was just two antennas sticking out of a box, more like a radio than a musical instrument. He said it was invented by the Soviets, but why would Professor Galvez own a Soviet-Russian instrument? I asked him, and he told me music has no borders. Well, I cannot argue with that. Good music is something people of any nation can appreciate. Why not abandon war and just make music together? But anyway, the professor offered to try playing the melody on his instrument in time with Miller's guitar. It was like something from another world. But somehow, it fit Miller's guitar backing really well. It even gave the song a charming, down-home kind of feeling. Miller was overjoyed. That is it. That is my melody right there, he said. It sounded totally different from when he sang it. But hearing the professor's version, I thought I could probably sing it. Then Miller hit me with the next bombshell. Paz, you write the lyrics. I did not know whether to scream or to run out of the room. There was only 1 week left until Peace Day.
Okay, well, it also, like, it does make sense, considering, like, his whole condition, PTSD, and, like, how he came to be, etc., etc. Like, at the same time, you know, it's like, yeah. Does the Venom get a final tape? I don't know. I think the whole passing is the only thing that gives Venom Snake a character. Is it though? You think so? I feel like even with Paz, what a relationship he has with her is kind of from a perspective of the real Snake, and not really from his own perspective. He did know Paz because he did work. He was a doctor and he was like always working besides them, and he did experience the whole explosion in the helicopter, but it's still not the same thing. So I don't know. I don't think I have that tape, guys. I don't believe so. I would argue some of his actions do too. I think, like, the whole episode with us killing the soldiers that got infected, that gives some character, and like him not wanting to scatter the ashes, but then wanting to eat them. Transform them into diamonds and carry them to battle. Like, I like that, and it shows character. Feel so bad for not saving her. I get that, and like, but I don't know. Again, like many things with this game, I feel like it could have been done better. I understand the potential, and it's like almost there, but not enough. But it also has to do with it being like a very strong side like content, maybe. Message of this game is that anyone can be Big Boss. I can be Big Boss, or you. I'm Big Boss. Yeah. Yes, I have Past Diary to listen to. We listened to this one, and we're gonna listen to these. I have to look up how to unlock it. The final secret tape. Okay. Venom is an interesting character to me. Lost in mystery. I don't think, for me, like, I don't think it's mystery. It's just like literally it being empty. It's an empty character that then was used as a vessel to pretend to be Big Boss. That's it. Like, it doesn't really have substance because I don't think it was thought with substance at all. He's made so it's 5's message, clear through. Roses are red, violets are blue. I am Big Boss, and you are too. Wow. Big Boss.
So, as if putting me on stage to sing was not enough, Miller even expected me to write the lyrics. He even said he had thought of the title already. Love Deterrence. As if he had done the hard part. Deterrence. Love. Deterrence.
Did I hear this in Peace Walker?
Deterrence is... It is when nuclear weapons prevent war, right? I do not see how love fits in. But it was too late to complain, so I just sat and listened to the tape of Miller's backing guitar and the professor's melody over and over again. I guess the melody is more Professor Galvez's creation than Miller's, but on the whole, I think it is actually a good song. First, it goes for your heart with a sorrowful opening, but then you feel revitalized as the song goes on. Miller grew up in post-war Japan. Maybe that is why the song has that kind of balance. Long ago, I heard some Japanese music called enka, I think. It sounded this way, but I wonder why it has to sound sad in the first place. Miller called it Love Deterrence. Doesn't that mean he had a love song in mind? All I see of Miller and women is the way he fools around with a lot of them at once. But maybe he has had his heart broken too. And what about me? I found myself thinking about Chico and Snake as well. I know Chico has a crush on me, so naturally he should come to mind. But why Snake? He saved me, and I feel indebted to him. But I thought that was all he meant to me. Why does my heart flutter when I think of him? It is embarrassing to be unable to control this emotion. There has to be a way to suppress it, to forget it. But maybe that is what love deterrence is? With that thought in mind, I went to my desk and began to write and write. Just 3 days left until Peace Day.
Next.
I finally had a decent draft of the lyrics, so I showed them to Professor Galvez first. He liked them. He said I had done a superb job capturing the sense of a young girl's troubled heart. There were 1 or 2 lines I thought needed brushing up, so although he said lyrics aren't my specialty at first, he gave me some advice. Everything he said made perfect sense. When I tried putting in his changes, they made the song feel deeper, more sincere. That is the professor for you. He always has the answer. With the lyrics finished, I was ready to show Miller. He does not often take things seriously, but all of a sudden, he was saying, Paz, you have the soul of an Enka songwriter. And I did not even listen to Enka all that much. Maybe I am pretty talented after all. But still, it took so much time to write the lyrics that there is hardly any time left to rehearse before Peace Day. The 3 of us rushed into the makeshift practice studio on Mother Base to see how we sounded together. Miller strummed away with a big smile on his face. I sang the main melody, and Professor Galvez improvised a backup melody. I know the professor is smart, but is there anything he cannot do? And Miller's guitar playing sounded a lot better now that he stopped singing. But I can hardly criticize his voice. I thought I had learned the song well enough listening to the tape as I wrote the lyrics, but I had trouble with the pitch and kept missing the rhythm. I have to practice, but there is almost no time left. It is just 3 days until Peace Day. Wait, I thought there were 3 days left before. I went and checked today's date with Miller and the professor. The date has not changed. It is the same day. Something is strange. Am I reliving the same day?
Groundhog Day.
Peace Day never came. Every morning I wake up expecting it to come, but it is always 3 days away. That cannot be it. I have not woken up at all. It is just a dream. It is all a dream. I am in it, and you are in it too.
I am?
I am the dreamer, But you are having my dream.
I am?
Do you get it now?
No.
You do, don't you? Peace Day never came. With 3 days left, I followed my orders from Cipher and launched the operation. I hijacked Zeke. I fought Snake. I lost and was thrown into the ocean. I survived, but I was captured by Cipher. How happy I would have been if they had let me die then and there.
We heard these.
Our wishes do not come true. We just cling on to our dreams, our phantoms, mine and yours. But I think this one is coming to an end. After all, you have figured it out now. You can kill Skullface, murder Huey, slaughter Zero, burn the whole world down, and it still won't bring me back. Me, or any of the dead. And that was our business. War. We bought our daily bread with money paid to us for killing. Maybe us getting killed was just balancing the scales. You know, Mother Base was never the heaven we wanted it to be. But I was still happy to have lived with everyone there. It was such a short time. Such a hypocritical peace. But while I was on Mother Base, I was happy. So, I hope I am not the only one who looks back on those days with happiness. There is more to remember than hatred and rage. But of course, this is you thinking that I should think that. It is no mystery now. I am just a phantom. A fragment of the mind you have lost. The real me died a long time ago. But even so, more so, I can tell what you are really feeling. The real emotion that is locked away at the bottom of your heart. Let it fly out. Let it guide you. Live. I think it is my job to tell you that. That is why I exist. So this tape is the last one. Once you are done listening to it, I am one phantom limb that will be gone for good. My flesh, my bones, joining the silt on the ocean floor. But do not forget, as long as you remember me, I will always live within you. Not a phantom limb or a phantom anything, as part of your heart. I will always be your angel of peace. So I know exactly how to finish. Say peace.
Peace. Peace. I'm not saying peace. Peace. Replay Cloaking Salvas 10 times, you can unlock Chico again. Let's go! He's an interesting character to me because he's a result of all the other games mentioned. He's brainwashed, no longer in control of himself, playing the role of someone else. Plus, his reality seems very different to other people because his mental and physical conditions. I think the whole thing of his mental and physical condition not being the best could be so much more explored, like way more than it is. And what they show of that and what we even see in like episode 51 like is really interesting, but it could be way more and it would be more interesting. And I agree with that. It does make sense with that, but it does not make him an interesting character at all. Yeah. But it's an interesting character to me because I gaslit myself, so my play arts Kai Venom wouldn't be a waste, thinking I still have a big boss figure. You know, just do self-hypnosis like most of these characters and make yourself believe that it's actually Big Boss. Yeah. But if you listen to all of this during after my 7 hours, myself it's 5 marathon, absolutely not. I would not function I couldn't even think properly or talk properly. Not that I can most of the time, anyways. I love this game, but it's 40% podcast. It's audiobook. This game doesn't have definite answers. Everybody has their own interpretation of its parts, and I like that a piece of art. And living is still wondering about it years later. The thing is, I would agree if it wouldn't be so incomplete, because I am totally okay with endings that don't really answer much, or the story itself not being much explained. For example, Shadow of the Colossus is one of my favorite games of all time, and I do consider it art. And there are a bunch of stuff they don't explain at all in the game. They tell you very little in the game. What you do know is your own theory and what others theorize, and I really like that. And I think the game is still finished, and I think what they made was meant to be like that. I don't think this was meant to be like that, and we know it wasn't. There's a bunch of stuff that was cut, and you do feel like it was cut left and right. It's not complete at all. So it's not with intent. It's because it had to be this way. If you had heard this tape before replaying the final mission, would you have been able to figure out what was happening with Venom Snake? I don't know. At this point of the game, I don't know. Piss makes me lol, and the only reason that it's like because this game isn't fit. Yeah, exactly. I agree that it should have explored his mental condition a little more. I think it's like really interesting, and also it's not explored in a lot of media. Some movies have it, but most of the times it's portrayed in the same way over and over again. And in video games, it's not that often as well. I'd also like with the Kojima spin would be very interesting. Like, again, what they showed was cool, but could be more, especially knowing how the other Metal Gears go. Like, how far you can go in terms of like mindfuck and criticism and twists and turns and like polishment. This game is not polished. It is not. This game is very loose. There are a lot of things that are not answered, yet there's still a single point that has been bothering me since I started playing this game. Why is Chico so good with the sniper rifle? It's because of the parasites. God damn it. Yes, it's because of the parasites. Roma says Kojima would resolve to feel the phantom pain. That's why he made an incomplete game. Just like me losing complete limbs. Yeah, but you know, you have to have a complete game first in order to and then lose it in order to feel the phantom pain. In this case, you can't. You just feel the pain. That's it. I find it explaining is what makes this game better. I like. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy the game. I think it's really fun. But it's definitely not at the same level as the other ones. If you compare this, even incomplete, to other games, it's still a very good game. Just, you know, like the other Metal Gear Solids are very, very good, in my opinion. They're like super
Clouds
clean.
Approaching.
I tried. Come on. Just come on. Shut up. Well, I don't know. Thirst for vengeance parasiting the mind. Is this long? No.
I want to thank you, Code Talker. Your pinpointing the cause of the vocal cord parasite's mutation enabled us to purge an enemy from Mother Base.
You mean that scientist?
Yeah, I was convinced he betrayed us, but I was wrong. He was never on our side to begin with. So ultimately, there was no traitor among us. And yet I made everyone distrustful with my talk of spies. The end result being men turning on each other in the laboratory.
You must not blame yourself. They were all infected with the mutated strain. The outcome would have been the same.
You know, we defeated Skullface, but it didn't lessen our pain. It's a pain we'll never be rid of. I see that now, but I thought I could burn it away. In the end, all I burned was our own men.
Infectious diseases, parasites. Without such foreign enemies, the immune system will start attacking the body, developing allergies and autoimmune diseases. The same is true of organizations.
You're right.
But I do not deserve to rebuke you. My desire to retaliate against the English language is what attracted me to the vocal cord parasites in the first place. Had it not been for that, I would never have been used by Skullface. We both allowed revenge to crawl into our minds and lay its eggs.
Sahelanthropus will unleash that thirst onto the future.
Please select.
How long are we going to be tormented by what he left behind?
Dispatched.
There is no choice but to live with that pain. Be symbiotic with our vengeful nature. Whatever we do, we must not allow that thirst for revenge to control us.
Good words, that is true. That is very true. I'm not gonna get into here. There are a lot of videos explaining and story about plot holes and missed opportunities to develop not only the characters in it, but also the gap till Metal Gear 1. I know, like, for example, some plot holes might be answered by theories, but not really by the games themselves. So it's still a plot hole. Like, whenever a game or like a story in general has a plot hole, you can come up with like theories or like excuses and like try and come up with like band-aids to fix it, and it makes sense in your theory, but it's still a plot hole, you know. If the game itself does answer it, then it's not a plot hole. For example, there are things that I missed and didn't remember because, like, it's a long series and a bunch of details, and you guys remembered me, and it makes sense. In those cases, like, it's not a plot hole at all. And for me, like, I don't really think of a plot hole that comes to mind right now. It's just things that I wished went differently in these games, like in this one and in Peace Walker a little bit. Specifically, you know, like with the tapes, because the tapes do say a lot of important things, and it's not the easiest to listen to. That's it. He was doing this to Venom really paints him as turning into a monster way better than most Peace Walker.
Development complete.
Yeah, but like, also, it wasn't his idea though. He woke up and it was like, hey, the plan is this. Carry it out. And he did carry it out. That's true. He could say no. Like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, that's wrong. But no, he didn't. And that is true. We never know what was cut. Kojima said it was complete while releasing Chapter 3 and finished. So, did he complete the story of Venom he wanted to show? We know he had to cut Eli's story. Yeah, like, we know it was cut. One thing for sure, everybody feels the Venom of missing part that was cut in this game. Yeah. This game writes on Zeta games as well, because it was implied that Venom was actually maybe at the end of Metal Gear 1. Oh well. Also, well, I'm gonna be fair. This series is very long in terms of time. The first game came out in the 80s, right? Late 80s. And this one came out in I don't remember, 2015 or something, 17, around that time. It's huge. I don't think like a creator would be able to create something that would fit perfectly with every single detail. Like, it's incredibly hard to do, almost impossible in my opinion. So I'm fine with like details like that not making total sense, like 100%. Also because like he wants to change things up. I'm okay with things not being perfect. I think it's fine. She was also fed the pain by not having Metal Gear rights anymore. Well, that is a true pain, and fairly, because it's his story, his games. It's a good 2/3 of the game. Yeah, I mean, I don't have the last third. I don't even see it. You guys tell me what it is, but I don't see it. I'm not gonna play the online to get the nukes, or whatever it is. Now we're still feeling the phantom pain only by winning 777 the Pachinko machines. I'm not gonna do the boss zombie, no. You mind filling some tier lists I got for you? Why tier lists? No tier lists. It's got the best gameplay of the whole series. I'll give it that. The gameplay is awesome. Remember how Huey just turns into the worst dad ever after this game? What a great guy. Yeah. My Solid 2 is my favorite gameplay wise. I like 3. You get to eat a lot. Jelly's still up. The plot hole is not having a fucking nitrate in 2023. That's it's still useful. It is. Probably not. I personally prefer it and Big was like this. Same reason I love Final Fantasy VII OG. Some things, plot holes or not, wasn't fully explained, just hinted, and it left much of mystery. Like, I love Final Fantasy VII, the OG. I love it. I have no issue with it at all. But one thing is like not answering it, which again, I'm totally fine with it. You guys are missing what I'm saying. I'm fine with not explaining things, but I'm not fine with like, hey, the kids are gonna take the Metal Gear. Goodbye, Metal Gear. And then suddenly, wow, the game ends. We don't see what happens, like randomly. And that we know it was cut. That I'm not fine with. That like it's bad. It's just bad. And the whole thing of you repeating the missions is bad. It's poorly done. I'm sorry. Thank God they're not mandatory, but it shouldn't even be listed like that. And I didn't like the whole thing of you repeating the beginning of the game just for the twist of the story. I understand why, but not like that. It's not well done. Maybe repeat part of it, not fully, almost. Or like have you repeat the whole thing but in another perspective, or like with slight differences, because it does change but just at the end, and it doesn't make sense at all from a storytelling point of view. The rest is fine. Like, I'm fine with them not explaining a bunch of stuff, and I'm fine with just accepting kind of like powers. I'm fine with that as well, and them not really explaining fully. It's fine. I'm okay with it. Did you play Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance as a point? Yes, it was the first one that I played. And I did not understand anything. Yes, and also did not use the codec because I didn't understand it was important. Now I know differently, and I would like to repeat it so I can actually understand things. Of course, you like 3 the hunger, of course. It's fine to leave things unexplained, but at least finish the game, or at least the story. Exactly. Yeah. To wish some ties were not. There you go. I'm not supposed with you. Thank you. I mean, we don't have to agree. Don't get me wrong. We can agree to disagree. I'm not trying for us all to come to a conclusion together, because like we all have different opinions. It's fine, and this is a very interesting game to discuss. And I like that, even though it's incomplete, so many people like it, and even myself, I like it, and it's kind of frustrating, and like I feel myself splitting between like the potential and like the things that it does well. It does really well, and then but like the potential. At least with Final Fantasy 15, it wasn't this strong because it just lacked too much. At least without the royal version, which is how I played it. Those damn kids in their Metal Gears. Damn you kids. I played it first, yes. It's fine. It was a fun experience. I'm not sure I want any Metal Gear remade, but it might change my opinion after the Silent Hill 2 one. I'm so scared with Silent Hill 2. So there's a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake in the works. Supposedly there's everything in the works. There's a rumor for each Metal Gear. Really very good discussions from this game. Yes! I hope Silent Hill 2 remake will be amazing, solely for Silent Hill 2 being one of my favorite games ever. I hope it's amazing, but I have my doubts. Oh, this is for the train, okay. I have to go to helicopter and then come back to see my base upgraded, I guess. Last time I saw it, one has been hinted for a while now. And now, Revengeance as well. Yeah. So is we getting a fish remake? We are? Who's doing it?
This is P-Quad, on station at LZ.
Is that Metal Solid 4? Is that coming out of anything else? Metal Solid 4 should be ported. It's dumb. You can only play it on the PS3. It's so dumb.
Gaining altitude.
They should just port everything. Okay, we are working on it. Who is we? You can't be ported? Why? I don't like the licensing and all, but why? Just do it. Just don't forget the 2 Ground Zeroes bonus missions. Yeah. How do I get them? How do I make it happen? Because I don't think we have time today. Oops. No oops. Was made strictly for PS3 hardware, that's the reason. Okay, that's not an excuse nowadays because they port a bunch of games from the PS3 to the PC, or like they also do remakes or another version like they did with Nier Replicant, for example. I think they should port it. That's how I think. That's how a game publisher thinks, especially Konami. Games originally sold very well when everything remained. Problem re-releasing the older games is that they need to renew copyrights for media and games. I know, I understand that. If you compare that cost to the amount of money they would earn from new sales, probably lost, so they won't do it. I understand that, but why? But why? Just do it. You'll lose money. Let more people play it. Just do it, okay? You need to collect all soft badges in the first mission. You can just Google walk through of those. Okay, yeah, it's what I thought. Okay.
Plant expansion.
Yeah, it takes some time, I believe. Plant is done. I don't think I have money for more. I don't have anything. Yeah. Okay. Wow, look at that. It's big. Wow. Wait. Are those? No. Are those bombs? Kumar port. On my Solid 4, but Konami so out of touch, they hired a blooper team. A lot of technical stuff you can port. We can technically remake the game. Just do it. It's easy. They can do it in 1 hour. Just press a button. But yeah, if there was money to be made, or better, if they were sure they would make a lot of money, possibly they would have done it by now. And like Metal Solid 4 is a game that a lot of people criticize with the long cutscenes, so it's not like a sure hit as well. What do I want? I don't know what I want. A side mission? I haven't done a single mission today. It's so weird. Yeah, That's it. That's exactly it. Mine clearing!
Please select a land heading to Central Africa.
I didn't go. So I go now. I wanted to change my outfit. How do I change my outfit? Because I never did it. I never did it. Let me change clothes. Character. Here we go. Sneaking suit. Wow. Looks sexy. Wow. Look at that. Oh. I want this one. Head? Oh, bandana, yes. Oh! Perfect! Wow. I can play with them. True. Like in Peace Walker, but I never done it. But I'm playing like this. I'm sorry. Sorry, I have to. I'm gonna cry. Equipment. A rocket arm. Yes, I have it equipped. Let's go.
Deploying.
All for mine clearing. Did you see the Bandai Namco thing? No, what thing? So why they don't sell the IP to someone who wants to do something with it? It's not worth anything. It just pretend makes how it doesn't exist. I mean, they still win some money with this, I guess. To the humongous amount of money they get, they could hire people to port it. It is possible. However, economic today's focus in mobile games, the Pachinko machines, yes. Sadly, the part of gaming industry that gives the most money, and by most I mean so much money, and because it's a business, they are focused on money. Who would have thought? A business that wants to make money. Why? Why? 2 ground 0 missions are better alternative than finish all TPP missions in S rank. Oh yes, 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 yes. Of course, Robbie. Just saying, like right now. I got a Fin and Pain song, right? Now the lyrics will make sense after the ending. I don't even remember the song. Oh, the okay. I would for sure make a remake of Mementos 1 and probably 3 since they already showed their release also for Silent Hill. And is Silent Hill 2 the most popular and quite one. Maybe they'll see how
be careful down there, boss.
I wanna look closer. I love this guy, he's so funny. What a face. The same as Fox keeping Marxel, Marvel X-Men rated for a long time, thinking they can do some shit. Yeah, without IP, it's just a lot of money. Konami never cared about yourself with fans. Survive and having Mementos with 3 Pachinko should already be a sign. Maybe Minari, but after Suikoden 1-2 Remakes is coming, I really hope in vain, I guess, for Suikoden 5 remake and Suikoden 6 happening. Maybe. I like remakes, but I don't like that much because I'm already in the area. Oh boy, okay, I gotta be careful.
Marker removed.
It's the same thing with like Disney doing like live action movies of like Disney princesses and whatnot. With so many original ideas out there and so many creative people, why just go back to the old things and just like do another version of it? In some cases it does make sense. But like in terms of creativity, it pains me. I know like it's easy money, especially with Disney stuff. It's like, why bet on a new idea when you can literally just make I don't know, like Sleeping Beauty live action and people that were like that watched the movie as kids will watch it. Easy money. Well, I didn't watch it. Any of the new movies. Because no thank you, Disney. No, 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 no. Even if they're good. Nah, I'm fine. I have new stuff to watch. A lot of stuff. It's weird to play with another character, but in reality, this was us all along. It really was. It really was. Sorry, kept missing your explanation to stream shopping on my end. Sorry. Your shopper song? My shopper song? An echoing employee who made 600 million yen from 2015 to 2022 by selling the company's inventory. Specifically mention what? 4,000 phones? Okay. I understand them suing the guy or the girl or they. Like, I understand. That's not really okay, is it? It's like a trump card. If Konami goes to shit, they could always do a remake or even a mobile game, Metal Gear Heroes. I just puked with that. In the worst case, they just sell the IP, but if it's not the case, they will hold on to it. They don't really care about friend girls and friend boys. I don't think people that play on the Pachinko machines are big fans of Metal Gear. Or maybe they are, actually. They can be both, like big Pachinko players and Metal Gear Solid players. Why not? I want to play. One day I'll get an emulator with it.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
Oh, okay. Kind of far. Calm down. Oh, 9. That's a lot of them.
Enemy presence detected.
Take a new game over Remake any day. Yeah, yeah.
Enemy presence detected. The map has been updated.
The Last of Us is like a good example of them just doing a bunch of versions.
Enemy presence detected. The map
I don't know
has
in
been
terms of sales how it is. I would like to know. I'm curious. I know it's like kind of a marketing strategy also because of the series. But still. I like certain remakes. Resident Evil 2 remake. Yes. Final Fantasy 7 remake. Nope. Cannot even remake the dungeons. They just copy past the old Final Fantasy 7. Lazy. Okay. Okay. I'm not saying that I dislike remakes. I loved Resident Evil 2 remake, and I really like Final Fantasy 7 remake as well. Even though like they changed some stuff, and I'm okay with a more different remake instead of being like more truthful to the source material. But like in general, nowadays we're getting a bunch of remakes and it's too much. And in general, I do prefer original stuff over remakes. Aha, it's here. Example, for Resident Evil 1, I played the HD version.
Updated.
For Resident Evil 2, I didn't even play the original. I only played the remake. And I really liked it. Played it on hardcore.
Clouds approaching.
Pooped my pants a couple of times. Got really stressful with the inventory management. Resident Evil 3 remake, however, yeah, it wasn't very good. No. Do I have any
Please select a mission.
I don't know why I'm still doing these, but I want to do missions. Oh, they're all far. Okay, how long does it take for me to do the Ground Zeroes thing, because if it doesn't take that long, I'll do it today. I'll do it today. I just wanted to clear some minds, okay, zombie? Like, someone can pass by, like, they just want to smoke a cigarette and then kaboom! Kaboom. Do the lists? What lists? Lists? I can do the animals. They're far. They're so far. You know, but I love Suikoden 5, and I see the potential in it as a remake. I only played Tierkreis for the DS, which I really liked. When I get Royale, where I can build Fortnite style with metadata assets, I puked again. Song is named a Phantom Pain on the first set. It's not the okay. The other one is just special, you know. I'm learning a lot about game design development, and nowadays the gaming industry is dirty AF. You can get so much money with so little investment. Real video games that can be considered masterpieces like Elden Ring or God of War, a bad business. They just don't make money. That happens to a lot of fields, unfortunately. Yeah. Like they sold those phones to other companies. What? I hope you didn't believe that they had no data. Yeah. Full price Last of Us 1 remake was so unnecessary. It was. I agree. All goes to shit. Konami catches the collabs with Snake appearing in everywhere, just like Nier. Could I just say Raiden is now your favorite Fortnite character, or Rainbow Six, maybe even Fall Guys? I would go play Fortnite if they gave me Raiden. I would. I'll be honest. I would not pay for it, because no thank you. But if it was free somehow, which I know we wouldn't be, I would play. Yes. Remember when a video game nearly bankrupted Rhode Island? Making a game is tough. It is. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is continuation of Advent Children. Yeah. All the Trials of Mana remake, but solely for nostalgia of the OG. I wish the remake was slightly less true to the source material. The remake shows some remakes are meant to be tweaked. A change updated. I agree. Technically canon is Final Fantasy 7 Crisis Core, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy Dark Servers, Final Fantasy 7 and Remake. Well, we'll see. We'll see with the new part. Final Fantasy 7 is from the future. Yeah. Not long ago, we watched Advent Children on Discord again, and oh boy, it's a movie. Yeah, I never played Darge of Cerberus. I can't say it. I can never say it. You're just doing soft pages, maybe. Oh, 30 minutes. Okay, we go. I can do it. Do I have to go back in order for the save? No, I just did a mission, so it should be fine. Not that I'm returning. Am I returning to this game? I don't know. But it feels weird leaving the game. Maybe. Religious groups, funny games. I never had gotten classes like Super 3. Oh god. I made a mistake. He's here. I thought we would change. He's looking at you, Chad. He's looking. Look at the face. Just look at it. Wow. Well, goodbye. Thank you so much to my Patreons, Gabriel Vega, Spike20, and Steve the Magic Ninja. Thank you.